Welcome everybody. Hope you're having a good day. This is a review and my subjective opinion of the best knife available under 50 bucks. The knife is available on various sites. You can buy it on Amazon, eBay, etc. The title of the video is the best knife under 50 USD. But the knife currently sells on Amazon if you're a Prime member for 25 USD. And I do intentionally keep the title for under 50 because I am not aware of another knife that would be a better overall outdoor bushcraft survival type of knife for under $50. And trust me, I have plenty of knives. I have plenty of bushcraft knives and outdoors and survival knives. So and I've bought and gifted plenty of knives in my lifetime, some that I don't currently own. Let me go quickly over the basics. I will give you some dimensions so that we're aware of. This is 3 millimeters thick and how wide are 22.2 millimeters wide. There would be a bit wider actually, maybe 22 what? Yeah, 22. Yeah, actually it changes, right? It goes down and gets slimmer towards the tip, but so the thickness is 3 millimeters thick, and the length of the blade is approximately 90 millimeters, and that is 3.6 inches. The handle is made out of composite plastic and rubber. The plastic is what holds the tang inside. It won't be a full tang, but if you're aware of similar knives, Moras for example, they never have issues of coming out just because of how they're constructed. This plastic is melted over and molded over the steel, which has holes inside and areas for the plastic to grab onto, etc. So it's not coming out of here, and the blade is not so long and heavy for you to put so much pressure on it that you would break it. I have never seen, I've seen plenty of reviews on the knife, never seen it break, not in the tank. What that does give you though is an insulated handle. You don't touch steel anywhere, so very useful and comfortable in cold weather. In wet, the grip is very good because of the shape, which is very ergonomic. You know, the swelling is there, the palm swell, there is these notches within the rubber, and this has to be the most comfortable handle on any knife actually that I own. And I would say it's mostly because of the rubber and the feel and how soft it is, in combination with the overall shape, of course. But I do want to point out, I do have knives with better handle shape, thicker, and I do like a thick area here so that I can have more leverage while we're putting force on the blade. So the handle is just marvelous, very pleasant to work with. Insulated, so you can work with, if necessary, electricity without having fear of getting electric shock if you have to cut a wire or something. and the grind on it is a Scandi grind with a secondary bevel out of the factory. This is now changed because I sharpened the knife several times, and I did that on a belt grinder, so now it is a convex grind, not a Scandi grind, Scandi or flat grind, however you want to call it. It is carbon steel, and so that makes it a bit easier to sharpen, but very prone to corrosion. As you can see, there's plenty of marks which I tried to clean off on the blade side while sharpening, but I didn't want to strip the paint fully because it has this measurements that I've never used. But the Hultafors made in Taiwan, carbon steel, it says here. Carbon steel again, Hultafors. Hultafors actually makes really good hammers. They also make, this is more of a carpentry woodsman type of tool company, and they have OK1, and this is OK4 outdoors knife. The OK1 is basically the same thing without rubber on the handle, so it's a full plastic handle. The knives are constructed very similarly to Mora's, but I do prefer them, and they're the same price range as Mora's, plus minus a couple of bucks. I also like their sheath on this knife. It clearly is an outdoors knife because it does come with a fire steel holder here, loop, and I've attached my own homemade fire steel on it with this rubber loop so that it holds it in, won't fall out. This can be worn on the belt through this belt clip that is also removable, and if you remove that, this slides down. It's the same size button as on your jeans, and if you're a carpenter and you have like on your chest you have these buttons or on the side somewhere, you can put this on, and then this little tooth here holds it in when you clip it in, and it stays secure. So you can just wear it without the larger belt loop with the fire steel attachment, but I use it like this. And as I said, that little tooth there holds the button in securely. I will now do a comparison of this knife with a significantly more expensive Mora Garberg in a leather sheath. I like this leather sheath. I like the fact that it clips over the handle so that this is not sharp, it won't dig in. The belt clip is close, so this rides low, nothing to dig into your side and ribs. I like that, and I like the quality of the leather and the fact that it is not a huge belt, it's quite slim. But the things I don't like about it is that it doesn't have a fire steel loop, and the fact that it has no drainage hole as well. Now, as for the knife, this combination currently, the Mora Garberg, costs 85 USD on Amazon, while this is 25. So I can have 3 Hultafors knives for the price of 1 Mora, and probably throw in a leather sheath for the remaining 10 bucks. three of these would cost you with the current prices 75 USD. This costs 85. It does cost actually 66 with a plastic sheath, so I guess that would be more of a fair comparison. Let's say you can get roughly 3 Hultafors knives for 1 Mora. Would it be worth it? Now the Mora is also a carbon steel. It is 0.12 inches, and in millimeters that would be 3.2, 3.1 millimeter, and this is 3, so basically same thickness. And considering this is a shorter blade, as the Mora is over 10 centimeters, 10.6 centimeters, and this is 90 centimeters, the Hultafors, you won't be exerting so much pressure on it that it would make a significant difference between the thicknesses of these two here knives. Now, both have originally Scandi grinds, and I don't remember this having a secondary grind. Actually, it probably had a Scandi edge, and this had a Scandi with a secondary bevel. But if you can see, the height of the grind is significantly higher on the Hultafors compared to the Mora. Let's see, for those interested, this is about 8.8 millimeters, and there would be about 0.35 inches, and here we have 0.24 inches, and in millimeters 6.2, so significantly higher grind on the edge of the Hultafors, and so that means it is a bit better slicer than the Mora. This does dig into wood very well, and so does the Hultafors. There is no comparison between the handles. This just beats it out of the park. The Mora has a hard plastic handle. I don't know how they missed it. There's so many materials that they could have incorporated, at least in the middle, if they were trying to avoid damage. And I mean, I've used this very roughly out in the woods, cutting all kinds of things at home. It doesn't have a single scratch on it, actually. I've even banged the back here, seeing how it would hold up. It's a very sturdy handle, but for those purposes they could have, keeping it undamaged, I guess, or more resilient to damage. They should have at least done some sort of rubber inlay here in the middle to increase grip, and they do have this texturing here, and yes, it does give you decent grip, but it's not soft at all. The handle, it does have something that the Hultafors does not, and that's this exposed end of the tang. That also demonstrates that it is a full through tang and a full tang. Nice to see. But again, even if it came to here molded inside the plastic, you're not going to be breaking it. The only thing that this adds is you can scrape your fire steel against it, and I don't know why you would, because the entire spine here is very sharp and perfect for that purpose. You would mostly use this to scrape wood for kindling and break up things, and for that purpose it works beautifully. But if I was to take one or the other knife in the woods, considering that it would not be the only one, I would take the Hultafors every time. It's just better to use. It gives you more leverage on in your palm, your grip, your wrist gets less tired. It's a better cutter because of that wider grind on the edge than the Mora. And because it is a shorter blade, and again considering that it would not be the only blade that you would carry, a shorter one gives you ease of use, increased comfort, whereas the longer one would exert more pressure onto your wrist while working with this area. So in between these knives on Amazon or on any other knife retailer website, you can find a plethora of knives. And I'm happy to say I've tried and tested many of them, and I usually do my research, watch a bunch of reviews, read reviews of people that have used them, and compare the pros and cons, etc. So I try to select what I pay money for, as I said, I do prefer. I know that this is a more expensive knife, but if you didn't know, the materials are the same. Yes, the Garberg is executed to a higher standard, maybe. Like the spine is perfectly sharp at 90 degree. This spine I had to actually regrind for it to strike fire steel. It was rounded off. It is rounded off from the factory. I don't know why they missed it. Maybe they've upgraded that. I don't know. Purchased this years ago. And that's a testament of how well it has held up. I've used it, as I said. I don't baby my tools. I use them. Of course, I do pay attention to what I cut with them, and I won't be hitting it against rocks or dirt or steel. But other than that, I don't baby my knives, and if they get scratched up, I don't get upset about it. I actually get, I'm happy about it. It adds character and memories, because you remember what you did when you got that knife scratched up or something else happened. It creates memories, so I don't mind them. And if I was to buy an everyday knife, that would be a universal one for work around your garden, around your house, demolition work, as well as being able to take it out in the woods, camping, making fires, and doing all kinds of bushcrafty things without a glove, because this does not require a glove. Unlike other knives, this of course does not require a glove, but it's better if you use it for a prolonged period of time. If you're batoning with it, if you're doing a lot of bushcraft, cutting and putting pressure on the blade, this one could get you calluses. Not specifically this one, but any other knife that just has hard handle. And you would actually be surprised, this texturing, while it does increase the grip on the knife, may cause some sort of skin irritation or calluses more than flat-sided and flat scale wood. So that's another thing to consider, is how do you use your knives. If you just play around, any knife with a relatively decent handle will do. But if you're working hard, you're sweating or wet, etc., much better grip on this handle than any other knife that does not have a similar rubberized handle. So do I recommend buying? By all means. And as I said, currently this knife sells for 25 USD for on Amazon, and definitely for that price there is no competition. Now maybe I missed something, and maybe you've experienced a knife within that same price range that is even better than the Hultafors, and I would be very, very interested to see and hear your views, or read your comments, I guess. So please do comment in the section below what your thoughts are, and what knives you would recommend under $50, especially under 25 as the current price on Amazon. Thank you, and have a good day.